G'day guys, Brendan here from On Point. Today we're here to bring to you the unbiased review of the Segway AT5L, L standing for long. Now first off, how good is this backdrop? We're out here today on the Segway to try and scope out some beautiful new camping spots, and I reckon this one's not bad because just over the hills there you've got the beach. Nice spot. But anyway, we're not here to talk about camping, we're here to talk about Segway, so let's get into it. Okay, first up, before we get started, I don't usually shout out businesses and I probably won't do it again for a while, but when you get delivered perfect customer service like we received from Martin from Perth Motorbikes, who is the Segway dealer, it deserves a shout out. So thank you very much, Martin. Honestly, this guy, nothing was too hard for him. I'm not going to spill on about this for too long, but there was nothing too hard. He knew I was unsure about how these bikes were going to go in the soft sand. So there was a block only 2 blocks down from the showroom that had soft as soft sand. And he let me go cut sick on these bikes for a little while just to see if I was going to be comfortable and they were going to do what I want to do. Unheard of customer service. Thanks, Martin. Now let's get on to the good bit. Now, why Segway? Of course, we were looking at Hondas, we were looking at Yamahas, we were looking at Polarises, but we couldn't find anything in our $10,500 budget that suited us correctly. Okay, they all had too many hours, or they were rough, rusted frames, whatever. So then we thought, well, okay, we've got the Crossfire side-by-side buggy. Why not look into a Chinese style quad? Okay, so Crossfire didn't do one that suited us at all. We found them rattly and we didn't find them that well polished, to be fair. CF Moto did some fantastic ones. They did the 400 and the 520, which were both going to be pretty perfect for what we wanted. But none were available in Perth anywhere. None at all. None were available in Geraldton, none were available in Albany. Now granted, they're only 2 weeks away, so waiting wasn't going to be an issue for me because I didn't need it yesterday. But when I got online, I kept finding this name Segway and it just kept coming up. It was haunting me. And of course, when something haunts you as much as that, you have to look into it. So of course, I got talking to a few people at Segway and found out that they actually built a really good quad. But the best thing about Segway was they had a whole heap of features. Now, don't for a second think that throughout this review, which we're about to get into right now, we're not going to have negatives, because there are negatives about this Segway. It's not a perfect quad. But let's get into what I think. We'll start with the positives and then we'll hit the negatives and then we'll go back to the positives if we get time. So let's start with it. So as you can see here, we've got the Segway 500 AT5L. It's a farm looking quad, okay? So the quad has everything you'd expect from a farm quad. Tow ball, it did have the rollover protection there, which we've taken off just for a short period of time because we're going to try and fit some rod holders there or something along the lines of that. This is the L, so the long. So as you can see, we've got the second person seat here, handrails, and then a backrest that fits in there. Now keep in mind, with the Snarler AT5L, the backrest is separate. Look at how far down my helmet's gone. Rolled off the buggy because of this wind. But yeah, the backrest is separate, but from what I can work out, it's under a $200 upgrade, so it's fantastic. Now, one thing that the Segway did come with, of course, stuff like your mirrors, you've got your indicators, there's obviously your lights, high beam, low beam, so forth, horn, hazards, there's the winch button there, the in and out. This is, your starting button and kill switches there. We have keys in the center. On this side, you've got your 4-wheel drive little command center. So I've got it in 4-wheel drive here. If we face up here, we're in 2-wheel drive. And down here, we've got front diff lock. So yes, this does have a locker. The good thing that this came with that a lot didn't were these beautiful Barkbuster style handguards, which is really important when you're out and about. We've got these beautiful, generous, huge cargo trays. And one thing that the Segway does, which a lot of other brands don't, they charge you extra for these plastic tops. And these plastic tops are fantastic, guys. They're really bloody good. They protect everything, but they come standard with the Segway. Now let's go to the dash quickly. I'll just turn it on. Okay, so there's your dash there. You've got everything from your clock, your little Segway logo, which is quite smart really, temp gauge, fuel gauge, speed. You can change your speed from miles to kilometers. You've got all your warning lights up and down the side. You've got, there's your revs there. Of course, yeah, your gear, you're selected. You can see that we've already done 54 kilometers in this thing. Today's trip's been 24.9 and we've already done 5 hours on this. Now, of course, these buggies dim light, these buttons here will dim lights and change all your settings and do what they do. We'll go around to the front of this quad here. And of course, as you can see, we've got these beautiful, beautiful LED park lights. And when you put these ones here, these LED lights into high beam, you don't need spotlights. They light right up, okay? We come down to the front. We've got this beautiful, neat little winch on the nudge bar, okay? Now, what we're thinking of is just up under here, we're probably going to mount a small little LED light bar just for a bit more, I guess, oomph. You don't really need it, but it could be handy. Now, because it is the long, and this is what we liked most about the long, you get this really generous foot area here. It's fantastic. And I'm telling you now, this seat here is like an absolute armchair. It is fantastic. Here, the fuel is a rear loaded fuel. Okay, so with your fuel being at the back, it holds about 19 litres roughly. At the back here, we've got, of course, we've got your big tail light, you've got your indicators there, tow bar, rollover protection goes on there, and then you can sort of see up the guts there, you've got all your suspension and so forth. And the one thing I'd like to note is straight out the box, this thing has got a fantastic amount of ground clearance. Okay, so let's get to the things I like about this quad. Now, I do apologise if I've called this a buggy 5 million times in this video, which I probably have. It's just, I'm so used to talking about my buggy, but because the quad's pretty new. But what we love about this immediately is the 500cc. You don't need more than 500cc in one of these quads. This goes like a scolded cat. We've had it through some real rough stuff this morning, some real boggy stuff this morning, and the 500 just gets going. And what I really like about the 500 on this is the power delivery is super, super smooth. It's not snatchy, it's not lethargic, it's just good. It works really well. Now, we've pulled everything from disc plows and so forth with this already as well on the farm in that 50 hours because we wanted to make sure that we got a full scope of that 500cc's, but also I could deliver to you guys, I guess, a review or a rundown that was really helpful to you. The ground clearance on this is really good as well. I like that. I thought we'd have to go higher, but we don't. It actually has got perfect amount of ground clearance, but it's the steel rims that I really like. Now, a lot of other manufacturers don't give you the option of those steel rims. You're stuck with alloys. I like steel rims because they're indestructible. When I'm out in the bush, they're never gonna fail you. They're not gonna do anything wrong. Not that I think an aluminium rim would do anything wrong, I guess, on a quad or a buggy. However, they have just been fantastic. Another thing that I really like, which a lot of other manufacturers don't do, is here we go. We've got a trailer light connection plug. And also, we've got number plate with number plate light there. Now, I think that's a fantastic extra because we're going to be able to license this hopefully on a farm license. So we'll be able to, I guess, do really short road trips on this if it works out the way I think it will. So the license plate holder will be good. And of course, yeah, towing a trailer, I'm going to need the lights. So that's really good as well. The big LED sort of display there is fantastic for guys like me with terrible eyes. Everything on that is super, super clear. I think the biggest and best thing about these Segway buggies that quads that I like is the aftermarket accessories. Now, unlike other quad manufacturers who don't put a lot of aftermarket accessories on, they make you buy them and they charge you $1 million to get them. Segway, whilst they don't include a great deal of aftermarket extras, their aftermarket extras are cheap. So as I said, under $200 for that backrest, but you know, we're getting these plastic rack covers included in the deal. That's pretty bloody good. Now, I did say there were some things I don't like. Now, of course, being a 500cc, it's going to be wider across here, okay? So it's going to be a lot wider across the seat because you've got to fit a lot more engine in there. So essentially to get on there, Mate, you're spreading your legs like a horse rider, and I tell you what, for a big bloke, sometimes that can hurt. That's not, I guess, a huge complaint because it's unavoidable. But this is one that is a complaint about this buggy. This gear stick here, you need to give it all your might to shift that into any gear you want to use. It's a known Segway problem. It is tough as bloody hell to shift that up. And I tell you what, it really, really does do my head in. It really does. I can't believe you've got to put so much pressure on something to shift it. Now, I've read online you can shim some things or do something in there, but you shouldn't have to do that from factory. Good news is they don't let the quad down. No one's ever had a gear shift failure that I can find anyway. So it's just, as I said, it's just the way the whole system works from a safety perspective, that it's a bit stiff to push in and out of gear. But all in all, really not that bad. I guess that's really the only real criticism I've got about this quad, because this quad, as I said, has been fantastic. I did say we'd go back to a couple more positives, so here's my other two positives of this quad that I haven't seen in other quads. We've of course got USB and 12 volt standard, and then in here, check this out, boom, we've got a little tiny glove box. Now how handy is that for keeping your phone? I'll just close that up. So that keeps the phone super, I guess, protected. It's handy, it's really good. Aesthetically, I mean, check that out. It's a very, very, very good looking quad. It just looks nice, doesn't it? And I guess the major plus for us, which was the final selling factor of this, was the fact that to keep the 2-year warranty up, we don't have to take it back into store. The store understood that we live a long way away from any dealer. So long as I can prove that I have purchased the product by keeping receipts, I fill the logbook out, and I just show that I've done my fluid checks and so forth, the warranty stands. So for anyone who doesn't live in Perth, that is a monstrous plus, a huge plus. And there's not many other manufacturers that are offering that as well. Guys, I know I've only done 50 hours in this, but we have put this probably through more in 50 hours, more in 50 kilometers, not hours. We put this through more in 50 kilometers than what I reckon some people put their quads through in a lifetime. So I find this to be what I hope would be a fairly reliable review for you guys. Guys, if you're interested in a new quad that's not going to break the bank, as I said, this was about $10,990 we paid in the end, because yeah, we went the long. If you're interested in a quad that won't break the bank but is going to go everywhere, you can fit a whole family on this thing because it really is huge, then maybe the Segway is the right quad for you. I certainly recommend it. It rides a whole heap better than what any of the Crossfires were that we got on. I didn't have the luxury of riding the CF Moto, so I can't say, but no rattles, no bangs, no nothing with this. This is a solid quad. Highly recommended, guys. We'll see you again, I guess, with this quad on the beach, fishing and so forth. But most importantly, we'll probably see a full another review in 6 months' time when we've really put some hours on this quad, because as I said, the hours and kilometers are going to rack on this silly fast. All right, guys, until the next episode, I hope this one was helpful. I know it's a bit different, but anyone who's looking to get into this style of ATV, UTV sort of style work and camping and stuff, you can do it because you've got all the space in the world on this thing. All right, guys, until the next episode, see you later.